All right, guys, let's continue with the second half of today. Pretty much, in that first half, I've given you SKLearn, right? So that I would say concludes SKLearn. We've looked at some algorithms. I was going to give you the libraries, but as someone stated, all those are basically on my GitHub, so you can just take a look at all the other algorithms over there and just, make sure you know how to run them. At the end of the day, as I keep saying to you, this class is about giving you this toolbox full of tools, right? So now you have another set of things that you can do. So let's do, instead, what might be more interesting is if we grab another data set, right? So we're going to grab another data set with SKLearn and just kind of analyze it. All right, so there are some famous data sets out there. There's the famous breast cancer data set that's available at UCI, the University of Chicago, Illinois. So we're going to download that data set. Okay, so let's go. Let's go to their website first of all. Okay, so we're going to go to their website. Open Firefox here. Okay, this didn't open. You guys remember that command I gave you to kill Firefox when you have it? I had given you a command. Huh? Unlock. Oh yeah, sorry. Unlock Firefox. That should have taken care of it. Perfect. All right, so if we go to HTTPS and then archive.ics.uci.edu. There it is. So this is the famous machine learning repository at the University of UCI, basically. There's a lot of data sets in here that you guys can play with these, okay, and just get a feel for your machine learning algorithms, right? So today I'm going to show you how to import one directly from the code from here, but you could import more and then just kind of play with them. Also, you probably know there's a lot of other websites out there that have data sets and challenges that you can, KD nuggets and places like that where you can go and take a look at other data sets, okay? All right, so anyway, so this is the data set. So we are going to look at one of these and just kind of look at some of the challenges. Let's do that. Let's bring back our script. So here now, instead of iris, I'm going to want a new data set. Okay. So this is going to be from UCI. This will be the breast cancer data set. Okay, so how do we import this? We're going to use pandas to import a data frame. So I'm going to do Ph.D. dot read CSV from HTTPS archive dot ICS dot UCI dot edu ML machine learning databases and then this is going to be the breast cancer from Wisconsin. And it's WDBC data. And then we should be able to specify here no header. All right, let's see if that works. So basically this would just bring it in. So let's see if it'll find it. All right, so no errors, right? So it seems I'm not seeing any warnings either. Yep, so it seems like it got the data set. So now we have it, right? So when you do this, you're going to, the first thing before you process it is you're going to explore it. Okay, so we're gonna explore the data set. So let's see. Let's do X and Y again, just like we did before. From the data frame DF, I'm going to say LOC all rows, all columns. Dot values. And then here the same thing, df dot lock all rows, all columns. Dot values. So let's try that. Yeah, that LOC I think has changed. Oh, no, maybe. String to float. Okay, I see the error. All right, so I think we're fine. So the labels are strings, they're not numbers. So we'll have to change those. But so here, actually what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do like a X equal input. That way I'll stop the program, I'll hold it. So now let's take a look at this data. So let's take a look at X. All right, so there's the data. There's X. You can see it's got some kind of an ID or something here. These are the labels, M and B, which probably stand for what? Malignant or benign. And then we've got the actual values. Okay, so it seems like the first 0 is like IDs, 1 is the classes, and then the rest is the data. Because we read this from a CSV. So let's go ahead and process that. Okay, also, so then, yeah. So actually these two are the same. So now what I'm gonna do, X will be all rows, but we want to ignore columns 0 and 1, right? Because 0 is the ID one is the labels. So we'll start at 2. Okay. And then for the labels, how would you change this? Let's say I gave you this as an exam question. What would that be? Colon 1. That will give you the ID and the labels. But we just want the labels. Just one, right? Just one. Exactly. So we're going to slice it out as all rows and just column 1, which has the labels. You see that? So now if I do print Y, well, actually print X, you can see now it's only values, right? So we got rid of the ID. So we also got rid of the labels. So now let's also print out the labels just to have a sense. And there it is. You can see the labels are benign and malignant. So we need a new tool to convert string classes into numbers. Remember that in machine learning, we need numbers. So we need to change B to 0, M to 1. So obviously you could write your own code and do that manually. That's should be very straightforward. But you know, we're just going to use some of the built-in functionality of SKLearn. So SKLearn has something called in pre-processing. It's got something called the label encoder. Okay, the label encoder then we can use to do just that. So here, now the label encoder only needs to be applied to the labels themselves. So I'm going to create an object, LE. This is going to be a label encoder, just like that. And then now we're going to apply it to the labels, so we don't have to do fit and then predict or fit and then transform. We can just do it in one shot. So I'm just going to do le.fit underscore transform, and we transform the original Y. And hopefully then this will change the labels to be like that, right? So we're going to print out the labels now, and they should be all 0s and 1s. And then after this should work. So let's try it out. And there it is. It's saying that the LBFGS failed to converge on logistic regression. So we should increase the number of iterations to scale the data as shown. Okay, so I'm going to increase the number of iterations for that one because it did not converge. Let's change that. No, it's still not working. So Now, did we scale the data, I think, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's try. All right, so it worked this time. All right, so if we take a look, you can see the results are still pretty good, right? But they're lower than Iris, obviously. We have F measure of 96 for random forest, F measure of 96 for KNN, F measure of 94 for logistic regression, and decision trees also 94. So it would seem in this problem that random forest is the best, but really that, you know, when the differences are this small, it's difficult to say. Okay. Got it, guys? So here's another example, as I said, of another data set. I recommend that you go to that UCI website, try a few other data sets, play with them, you know, get a feel for the results, the challenges that you'll encounter. Okay. Any questions? All right. Right, so we did a data set. We looked at KNN, logistic regression, random forest, and decision trees. All right, so that's good. All right, so now in the rest of the time that we have today, I just want to talk a little bit about a couple of things, in particular the project. So I just want to see where you are on the term project, like status. Make sure that's 100% clear. And then after that, I'm just going to assign you one exercise, which will probably be like the last homework assignment that we're going to do, but it should be an interesting one. All right, so are you guys sitting in your groups right now? Well, so I'll just start over here, like Wen Liang, and who are you working with? Okay, and oh, let me stop this because actually we don't need to.